Have you ever heard the statement made by somebody, the fool says in his heart or her heart, there is no God? That statement actually is found in the Bible, in Psalms 53. The fool says in his heart, there is no God. Studies have been done in the world today, counting up the number of people who belong to various religions. The Pew Research Organization has come up with numbers. 2.2 billion people today call themselves Christian. And then there is the 1.6 billion who call themselves Muslim. The third category, the third largest category of people fall into the group who call themselves either atheists, secularists, or agnostics. And where there is a list of religions to check off, they would skip the one that says Christian or Muslim or any of the others. But then there is this one that says none, N-O-N-E. That's the one they would check off. 1 billion people in the world today fall in that category. So they are known as the nones, N-O-N-E-S. Atheists, agnostics, secularists. The atheist says there is no God. The agnostic says if there is a God, he makes no sense. The secularist says we can get along without God. We do just fine on our own. 1 billion people, and that is the fastest growing group, can't call them a religion as such, of all groups in the world today. How do people get to be that way? The fact is that nobody is without a God. We either accept the God of heaven, the God of the Bible, or we manufacture our own God. But the human heart, the human mind is made in such a way that there will be a pull towards something bigger than ourselves. It may be like those on the old days, and maybe some today, who make for themselves a god out of stone, out of wood, and then worship that. But there are others who have created the God that is in their hearts. It is maybe ego. It could be the God of greed. And for some, it's success, their achievements. That is their God, because that's where they find their ultimate meaning, where they find their ultimate purpose, and where they focus their whole lives, their time, their energy. It is all devoted to that, with minimal or any thought of any deity than that. There is a strange phenomenon that is true for every human being, and that is we become like the God that we worship. If it is a God that we've manufactured, we become like that God. It affects our lives, our decisions, and for a while we can manage pretty well on our own, with our own God. But what about eternity? Does the God which you have followed, the God which you have created, the God which is central in your life, does that God provide an eternity of fulfillment and joy and peace? Now, if you're going to be a nun, an N-O-N-E, then be the one that the Bible describes in Samuel, 1 Samuel 2 verse 2, which says, no one is holy like the Lord. No one is holy like the Lord. There is none like you, O God. There is no rock like our God. What is important is the statement in that verse that says, there is none like you. That is not quite the way it says. There is none beside you. You see, if there's none like the God of the Bible, then we can still compare gods with gods, assuming that there are other gods that are in reality in existence. But when we consider that there is only one God and all others don't really exist except in our minds, then this God, there is none beside him. G.K. Chesterton said that if there was no God, there would also be no atheists. So because there is a God who created us in his image with free choice, we can choose to say there is no God. But that doesn't state the fact. God is God. The only God. Is he your God? My name is Ivan Blake. I'm senior pastor of the Fletcher Seventh-day Adventist Church. We have a website we'd like to invite you to visit. And that is found at fletchersda.org. There you'll find out the programs, the worship service times, and also you'll be able to locate our church setting where we are at. On that website, you'll also see the opportunity you have to have Bible study lessons called Lifting Up Jesus. Those lessons are free. You can call for them by just following the instructions on the homepage of the website. And we'll be glad to share them with you. Lifting Up Jesus. That is the purpose of our church, is to lift Jesus up and to love people in. I hope that today you will experience the reality of the only true God.